And you're good to go.
Okay, so this is from Hatha Yoga Pradipika. It's page 13, the last paragraph, arousing potential energy. Awakening of Kundalini is a fact, but more important than that is awakening of Sushumna. More real and important is awakening of the chakras. Pardon me. People do not understand this difficulty at all. Awakening of the chakras must take place first because the chakras are the junctions through which energy or Shakti is distributed to 72,000 circuits. If the chakras are not functioning properly, if there is a blockage somewhere, then the energy cannot penetrate. If the junction somewhere in your building is faulty, you won't get electricity there. For the whole complex, there may be many, many circuits, not merely one or two. Maybe all are intact, but the basic connection may be wrong, somewhere near the main switch. Then what will happen? Even the junctions that are intact will not be able to supply electricity. So, purification and awakening of the chakras is essential. This can be accomplished through the practice of pranayama. Supposing you have purified the nadis by asana and pranayama, and you have also awakened the chakras by pranayama and a few asanas, there then remains the awakening of Sushumna, the central channel. Sushumna flows from the Muladhara chakra, the lowest circuit, to Ajna, the highest circuit, and it is a very important nadi. The awakened Kundalini Shakti has to pass through Sushumna, but if this highway remains closed, Kundalini cannot penetrate beyond Muladhara. Therefore, before awakening Kundalini, Sushumna should be awakened. And that was the next segment. So I don't know if anybody has any comments or questions, but I don't know if it's a comment or a question, and I just wanted to raise it. If you do chakra meditation, which is, I'm assuming, I'm not a yoga teacher, so somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about, step in. If you do chakra meditations, is that one step along the path of waking up the chakras?
So I pulled up pictures because I get this how it works. I'm terrible at explaining this stuff.
Okay.
But I'm like, where's Amanda? I'm gonna show.
You know what Amanda would say? She would say for John.
So the chakra is a wheel. Like I'm pulling it up. Is it sharing yet?
Not yet.
Hold on. There are wheels in the body, right? Where energy moves. So if there's blockages, nothing's moving, or it's not moving as much as it should.
Well, I get that. I'm just wondering, functionally, to wake up the chakra, and there's 7 chakras, right?
Mm-hmm. The main, yes.
Right. Moving
you
from.
See it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the highway and the side roads. Yeah.
So here are the chakras, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the Ida and Pingala. See this? That's the feminine and the masculine and energy. And then the Sushumna is this, right in the middle. And the chakras, it goes right through the chakras. So basically, if you have blockages in the chakras, then it's hard to flow from here upward.
You won't be able to drive through the Sushumna.
Yeah, imagine there's a road and you had a storm and all these trees fell down and you're blocked.
Yeah, beginning of August, you're blocked, right?
Which one's the female energy?
I forget. Hold on, let me see if I find it. I think Ida, but yeah, Ida is the nerve channel on the left. So it's the left. I remember that it's the left side. I just don't remember the names.
The left is the female?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, usually it's the right. Okay.
The right is the masculine side energetically.
Right, and Ida runs along the left.
100%. Ida is female.
Okay, so I'll take this down.
All right, so Ida is female and Pingala is the guy. Yeah.
And when they talk about Kundalini rising, it's also starts from the bottom, and it's the flow through this main energetic line.
So what I got from that is if you wake up your chakras, you hopefully shake away blockages, and your Sushumna is more open, and you're able to drive on through.
And when our chakras are blocked, you're gonna find every chakra, like for example the throat, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's blocked, you're either talking too much. If it's off, you're either talking too much, or you don't talk enough, and then you're not living. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not living up to your truth. So it's really hard if you're imbalanced in all these other places. It's really hard to move forward with anything.
Okay, so back to my original question, which is, if you do, the various pranayama exercises, and you meditate on each of the chakras and try to think about each of the chakras, and maybe imagine in terms of the energy level from each chakra, the sound attached to each chakra, or the color attached to each chakra, you help yourself unblock whatever blockages may be there.
And you come more into balance.
Okay.
Really, essentially, just opening up Sushumna Nadi will unblock all the chakras.
Thank you, Amanda. I'm like, oh, where is she?
It's also a way of doing it by focusing on each chakra. But like, if you just do spinal breath, like the Soham mantra, where we inhale to the base of the spine, exhale to the crown of the head, and you start unlocking Kundalini, it does the job.
Amanda, in Chinese medicine, we do it through acupuncture. It could be done with Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also believe in outside assistance, or just doing it with the breath?
Well, yeah, I mean, acupuncture comes from Ayurveda. Yeah, it's all interconnected. Yeah, absolutely. That's why you get such radical healing from acupuncture, right? Like, if there's a blockage through the vayus, then or I guess they're called meridians in TCM, right? Then you unblock it, the energy flows properly, and then when it flows properly, you get healing through whatever line it is. It's so cool.
Now, a blockage in the throat, like Micheline said, could make you talk a lot or not talk at all, because we would say if you have excess in the throat, you would talk a lot, and if you have deficiency in the throat, you would talk too little.
Same. Yeah, it's the same. And it represents the thyroid, parathyroid, that area.
So you would have those types of illnesses.
Exactly, like you have overactive thyroid if it was overactive, or underactive thyroid if it was underactive.
Amanda, the very first thing you said, can you repeat that if you can remember it? It was, if you do the breathing from...
If you do spinal breath meditation, where you inhale to the base of the spine and then exhale to the crown of the head with your awareness, and usually we say soham, then that helps to open up the central channel. But pranayama does a really good job of it. Reiki, I've had a Reiki teacher tell me that you can do the work to open up somebody else's energy, but if they have some kind of like coding in their soul, it'll close back up again.
Reiki will if you work on someone who's not open to do the work, it's more like, yeah, okay, that kind of attitude, like whatever, they're gonna feel the Reiki, but it won't fully.
Right.
It doesn't have the same what's the word? You're not going to have the same results.
So
It
maybe
sounds like it would be a temporary better feeling that then would dissipate.
maybe because the acupuncture enters the skin and really stimulates the central and peripheral nervous system, it has a better effect then.
Yeah. It's the same with they call it Marmani in Ayurveda, and I guess acupressure
Yeah.
for TCM, and it's similar. It's like you're like directly affecting the energetic flow. So I mean, like, there are people who are so powerful with energy work that they can just like open everything up for you, and they call it Shaktipat. But most Reiki practitioners aren't taught those yogic techniques of energy work. They're about like just funneling universal life force into the body and letting it do its thing, right? That's Reiki. But they're yogic, like, but you have to be an enlightened master, like an acharya, in order to know how to do that, where you can just unblock people's chakras and make their energy rise like that.
But one thing that was for me implied, and maybe it's coming out of me, and maybe it's a projection, but one thing that was implied by that short section we just read, which was from the bottom of page 13 to the end of that section on the next page, on page 14, was that, and it sounds, was that you got to do the work yourself for it to really have an impact and to move you along whatever path you're on. Am I reading that correctly?
Oh,
You can get help, but you got to do the work.
Yeah, essentially that's like the goal of all the Vedas. It's like your job, it's your path, it's your karma that you're burning away. The teacher is meant to just guide you to doing the work yourself, essentially. You know, it's like the problem with I guess like the perversion of guru culture in America. You know, people look at these gurus and they're like, you're going to heal me, you're going to fix me, you're going to bring me peace. And really, like, if you look at traditional guru culture, like, the guru is just a representation of the guru within you. It's like an external manifestation for you to practice on. But really, it's meant to, like, they're really supposed to redirect you to your own inner experience over and over and over again. But I didn't catch the first part. I got to go back and listen to the recording.
But what you just said is basically what you've said pretty much every other meeting.
Yeah, that's what the Vedas teach.
Which is, you know, no one's going to rescue you. You have to do the work. You might get some help, but, you know, whatever tar pit you're in, you're going to climb out of. Maybe that's a little, I've been having a rough time. That might be a little grim.
The gratitude really helps.
Yes.
I think most people are having a really hard time right now.
Yeah, it just feels like all of this is going on just too long. It's sort of like, aren't we done yet?
Yeah.
Is this over yet? No, really? Another period of time that's going to look very much lengthwise, like the past 6 months? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But all right. And you know, what you said about the gratitude really helps. Well, it's really interesting. I try hard not to spend a lot of time on FaceTime, but one of the things I've noticed is that more and more people are getting into that and are talking about that. And I think it's because what else are you going to do? You know, you keep going and you keep doing and so on and so forth. And there are things to be thankful for, many things. So I think I'll feel better once we pass November 3rd. That's going to be, because, you know, one way or the other, we're going to be
feel
past.
worse. Yeah, at least we'll know.
I'm trying to be somewhat optimistic about this. Although realistically, you're right. You know, there's nothing that says anything about what will happen. But all right, so yeah, gratitude really helps. And I'll tell you one thing I am extraordinarily grateful for is the weather we've had the past few days. It has just lightened the brain, lightened the soul, inside or outside. It's been wonderful.
I mean, there has to be a level of compartmentalization, and the only way to do that is through being present. Like my Zen family, every time I'm like, you guys, we need a contingency plan if this goes awry. You know, if they vote him in again, you know, I'm like, we need to get out of the country. And everyone's like, you can't control what's going to happen. You can only focus on right now. They always throw back my teachings at me. They always throw it back in my face when I start getting like that. And they're right, you know, it's like, okay, all I have in front of me is today. What am I going to do with today? What am I going to do with this moment?
Amanda, yesterday
It's such
morning.
a wonderful thing to think about, because I also have an escape plan, which is totally ridiculous. It's like, you know, Peter Pan and Never Neverland. I have a friend who lives in a place called Fairyland in Newfoundland in Canada.
Oh, it's really cool.
Fairy as not in Tinkerbell, but as in that boat you ride. And this place is really, it's a very small community. It's right on the ocean. Icebergs sail past my friend's backyard, as do whales, etc. And I mean, it's a tough place to live in, because first you have to make a living, and it's a very small community and there's virtually nothing there. So how does that happen? And then the second thing is the weather is, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a snowstorm this morning. I mean, it's very challenging, but still I have this fantasy about being totally away. It takes literally over 24 hours to get there, no matter. That's the fastest way, because you got to wait for a couple of different ferries to get you to this place. You know, there's one flight a day from Toronto to the place that's like from here to Buffalo away before you can get there. So that's my escape plan, Amanda. I hope yours is more. And also, there are no museums there, no art there, unless you make your own. So,
well, you can go on Zoom tours now, right? It's all kind of the same thing.
Oh,
it's good to have plans. It's just, you know, you make plans and God laughs. So we'll see we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
One day at a time. Maybe we don't need these plans. We'll see.
Well, yeah, it's more of a dream for me. It's less of a plan, because I have no place to stay once you get there. And
you know, so, with your friend. You make a igloo.
I don't know how many. Right. I think he's got a whole lot of friends now. I really do.
So your escape plan would be to Europe, Amanda?
I don't know. My whole family is like, it's probably going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Let's see. I'm trying to get my mother to give me the information for EU citizenship, and she won't give it to me.
Oh, it's.
You need her birth certificate.
Yeah. And then you need to find out from there your rights. You have certain rights, they're called, because of your parents. And I think you have to get them from there, right, Micheline? That's what
you need your parents' birth certificates and your grandparents.
Yeah.
And marriage certificates.
I mean, I got family there too. I could always be a refugee. We'll see what has to happen. They'll take me in.
You have to get there, though.
Illegal runaway in Italy.
We're gonna have to buy a boat.
It was on my list of things to do in the last few years to get my EU citizenship, and I never did it. And now there's major backup for it, because
I'm sure there is. Well, you know what? We'll figure it out when we get there. We'll see what happens if we need it. We'll see.
Yep.
Amanda, yesterday morning, we were I don't know what we were talking about, but this whole thing that you've been saying all along came up. Whatever is meant for us is gonna come. Whatever is not is not. Like, I don't know how many times you've said that every time I freaked out about something or trying to get through something.
Yeah.
And
It makes you able to be present, like when you have like a level of acceptance. I've been finding that like when I get stressed about the current circumstances that I start lashing out at like old enemies in my mind. Is anyone else doing that? Like all of a sudden, so I have to say, oh, I send them blessings and then become present, you know, and like focus on the present moment again. It's this weird, I don't know if it's like, I guess it's like some kind of psychological reaction, like when you have a stressful moment that you get this neural cascade of like all the other stressful moments get pulled out. And I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with right now because the unknown is very difficult.
Yeah.
it's a lot. It feels like a lot more triggers.
Sure. Yeah.
Like every day.
Yes, it does. That was well said. That's what it feels like. It's interesting because you know how you can go spiral down into these rehearsals in your mind of things that did happen or things that might happen and so on and so forth, but aren't there. And I have, for me, I found I'm not so generous and I'm not so evolved as to wish people blessings, but I find that if I go outside and weed, you know,
For
that,
real, yeah.
you know, because you got to pay attention. You don't want to pull up the squash before it's ready, you know, but you want to get those weeds out, you know, and so there's focusing on that, and it's very physical. And it's when you finish a little patch, it's done until 2 weeks later when they all come back, but it's done for that moment. And it's a nice way to beat down demons.
Yeah, sure. Gardening has been like a lifesaver. And then cooking and gardening and cleaning. It's like all the just basic things to keep you alive. Life is work, you know, doing that like stuff with your hands is, and I always think of, isn't there a part of the Bible that says like idle hands create the devil's work or something like that? I always think of that. Like you sit there and you have nothing to do, then all the demons start rising up in your mind. So
yeah.
It's like when I was going out on the garage roof picking mulberries for an hour and something. I'm up there. I don't even realize there's that concentration on this one little thing. I've been doing beach a lot. Yesterday I met Renata at 6 a.m. at the beach for sunrise. And Sue came with us too.
Aww.
And it was so nice. And I took my drum out of nowhere, and I don't know how to drum. I just drum. But it was so nice. And she got this picture of me, and I look like there's nothing crazy going on. Everything's perfect, and all this joy just flowing because I was drumming for a long time. My arm was tired. But it felt, and then, you know, I just come back home and I just get like, my mind takes off again, like this and that. But in that moment, and it's just the really being present.
Yeah, we have to try as many moments of the day as we can to be present.
Yeah. Well,
It's 8:03. Amanda, I can't stay. I have to get off at 8:20.
All right, so make me the host.
I'll make you host.
Well, that should be right about when we're finishing meditation anyway.
Yeah.
I might have to meditate without the computer on because I have 4% left and I left the charger at my mom's.
All right.
ooh.
Yeah, so it's a good thing we're going into meditation now.
Amanda, do you want to do breath work or do you want me?
You can if you want, and then I'll just monitor.
Okay, so I'll just sit up nice and tall. Nice long spine.
I'm sorry, I'm driving, but I'm gonna start with you.
Okay. That was me last Friday. Just drive safely.
Thank you. Yes, my husband just, as I left he gave me a little mint, and it's just what Amanda was just saying. With the mint, I was just taking a deep breath, and it's so good to start, you know, like she was saying, gardening just so help, like to concentrate on that, breathing, mint.
I'm gonna go into meditation. That's gonna be okay.
Anna, your phone froze.
Oh, Amanda, can you mute? I'm trying to figure out why I can't mute. That's because I'm not host anymore. Thank you. So I guess let the breath flow, inhaling and exhaling to the nose. The inhale creates the sound naturally of so. And as you exhale, it naturally creates the sound of hum. Imagine inhaling to the base of the spine. Exhaling to the crown of the head. And we'll take just 10 rounds of listening to the sound of the breath. And then moving into alternate nose breathing. So you can keep your eyes closed and just find that shift. Take a full breath. And then when ready, closing the right nostril with the right thumb. Inhaling deeply to the left. Closing the left nostril with the right ring finger. Find a pause. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Close and hold. Exhaling left. Taking a couple more rounds at your own pace. Whenever you're ready, allowing yourself to drop in. Amanda, please set timer.
You can place the hands in prayer, bowing the head. Namaste. Have a nice day, everybody.
You too, Amanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
See
Bye,
you.
guys. Nice
Bye.
day.
Bye.